Hello everybody and a warm welcome back, and we are live tonight for New Age Championship, and it is round 1 season 6. We ended season 5 a couple of weeks ago, and we are back with a brand new season. We start from 0, and it is tonight here at Australia. It is and it is here at Albert Park, Australia. So it's going to be, of course, short qualifying and then any 50% race here. It's going to be 15 of them tonight. And bear in mind, I'm a little sick, so might as well not see me all the time. Obviously, I'll be there, but maybe not with full energy. But let's get it going. Let's not waste any time on that. So now we've got 15 of them tonight. It is Ryan Raichu special C45, Konabol, VDR, Midovic, Michel, I believe that is, Archie, Fino, Tyron, our previous champion, DJ, Evil, Brando, Romero, and Dees. The 15 drivers that are racing for here with us for tonight. They're already almost about to get out on track, so let's just go out with them as soon as we can. Let's just fix these visuals for a little bit. And then let's not waste any time to get out on track. There is drivers out. Definitely we're starting for a bit of a break and after a while. So definitely I'm sure they would have been practicing. But they would be looking to prepare, especially those who missed out on the championship last time out. Those who couldn't get their hands on the championship last time out would definitely be looking to do better and do a better job overall. As now looking at drivers, there is drivers out on track, and there's Ran in the Alpine being the first driver to be coming out on track. Meanwhile, a lot of other drivers, I don't think Ran's the first driver. Obviously, it says he's in P1. The first driver out on track on an outlap has to be Fino. He's in the Kick Sauber, and he's going to be a very first driver to start the flying lap. And the first driver to start for his first lap on a brand new season in qualifying, heading towards turn 1. Keeps it nice and easy within the white lines. It's a pretty tricky corner. You could always win validated into 7th and into 8th at the end of this right-hander of the first DRS straight, which obviously is going to be, sorry, the second DRS straight, actually, that is on the track for the 4 DRS zones. So many DRS zones around here. So that's now into that, this the end of that first sector, 26.8 from Fino. What about him in that middle sector? Middle sector is now almost just straight, straight speed just to see how much you can gain in that straight line speed. But it all depends what kind of setup you've got, what kind of a way you've set up your own car. 44.224. It's going to be your middle sector, and the third DRS zone we're in. The DRS open along with the ERS being used by our driver, using that into third, getting it as smooth and easy as they can. Maybe not as fast as you would have thought they would be, but definitely just the first run. So maybe they're not pushing as much as they would, probably be pushing in the ending moments of qualifying or in the ending laps of qualifying. They just probably would be taking this through on, and at the end of that first lap, it's going to be 116.945945. It's going to be a lap. What about Archie? The next car over the line, 118.1. So they definitely need to do a better job. I think it's an RB next time out. Next time on the track, starting their flying lap. And the Red Bull of Midu as well as Miguel. And then there is a couple of drivers behind. And that has to be Brando in that McLaren, 129. So definitely they will need to be improving. And they will be improving again. What about Conable over the finish line, 121.7. And Archie, C45, all these drivers have got a time on board, and it has to be Fino, who is the quickest of them all so far. And anybody who is also yet to come over the line, Ryan has invalidated their lap. What about DJ over the finish line? Invalidated, and that definitely is what we were talking about. Many drivers went over the line and crossed the line, but couldn't get a lap on board, and are still yet to get a time. Only 5 out of them have got a time on board out of the 15. Obviously 3 are still in the pits and 2 are on an out lap, but still many of them are on a flying lap and have the opportunity to do a better job. Fino is now going to be coming over the line, but obviously they'll be on an out, not an out lap, but simply a cool down lap and a prep lap to really get this going. Obviously, first lap was pretty quick from them, so definitely they'll be just taking it smooth and easy in this one. What about VTR or Special, whoever it is over the line? It's going to be VTR, 119.726, and so far the time from Fino looks to be the fastest. Meanwhile, Nito is on a set of medium tires. Interesting choice, obviously, for the first stints of qualifying. What about Connibel? Has found an improvement, but obviously still not enough, and is last of the running cars. What about the Sauber of Romero? He seems to be going slow down, and it is him going pretty slow. What about the Alpine of DJ? He'll be the next car over the line. He'll get a time on board. Still not fast enough. What about Romero? He's on not a fast lap. DJ, rather Ryan in that Alpine, and he does indeed get a very fast lap and goes up to P2, 117.740, and Fino is pretty quick so far, and Tyrone is going to beat that in no time. Remember, Tyrone is your world champion, previous world champion, and he has arrived in a style. We're just looking at who is going to be beating Fino, and it is Tyrone who has gotten him back with style, and not only just by a few milliseconds, but over a whole second. Nearly a whole second there that Tyrone has done a better lap than Fino, so others around now they know they're going to do a better job. They know that they're going to be having to put a brilliant job to really get themselves a chance of qualifying here to Australia. 10 of them have got a time on board. What about Romero over the finish line? He's found somewhat of an improvement on his lap and goes up to P5, 118.345. There's another car behind them. I think it's a McLaren of Evil it is, and he goes up to P3, so a pretty decent time from him as well. You know, Connibel is going to be having a trip to the gravel, so did not want us to see that. Meanwhile, Tyrone is going to come into the pits, and knowing Tyrone, he might not come out again by the looks of it, unless somebody gets very closer to him. That's a different story. But the times we've seen so far, the times we are seeing so far, I don't think Tyrone will be coming out again, as WDR has got 119.7. It goes up to 119.0, but that's not going to put them any good in terms of position. They're going to be proven by time, but not by position at all. Beth Ripples out on a set of medium compound tires. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it was here. The two Ripple team. No, it was not here. Actually, it was another league. I was about to say that is going to be a big crash there, and Special is going to be in the wall. And just at a time where we switch up to them in a brilliant weak-up Special pink livery, but that lap is not going to be much special as they've crashed out without a time on board and have put the car in the wall. That is a pretty tricky corner on the exit of the middle sector, and if you do not get it right, you're going to get a bit of curb along with the grass, and you will be in the wall, just like we've seen Special go right now. And that is not a good start for them at all, as one of the weak carbs out of the two has crashed out here in qualifying. Gonna be interesting. I mean, 3 drivers are yet to set up a time, and one of them obviously is out of the session, which is Special right now. Anybody else on a flying lap? By the looks of it, right, you might be, but he's invalidated. Yep, he is invalidated, so he definitely will not be on a flying lap, and possibly will be coming into the pits here. Now about 8 minutes remain, and the top two in a league of their own. Possibly Evil could catch up in their McLaren, along with Raichu on that soft compound tyre, because the tyre deficit at least 5 to 6 tenths from soft to medium. So 17.570 on a set of mediums could possibly and easily, I'd say, if he gets the lap right, should be able to get over 117.0 or even 116.9, which Fino is in. So if not pole position, at least the front row will be in charge. Front row will be in there for a fight, and we definitely should be seeing somewhat of a fight for it. Now, two drivers on a flying lap at the moment, and one of them is not improving. And they've invalidated as well. Are we going to see another car into the wall? Yes, we will, but he walks out unscathed, and he walks out without any big issues. He's got a bit of damage, and he'll need that front wing replaced, but he's already on those 5-lap holder medium soft compound tires, and that explains in itself that why he nearly lost the car. Being on older tires and pushing at qualifying speed could definitely mean, and it does mean, that you are not going to have much grip as usual, and such incidents would occur if you're going to be keep running. So I'm not sure whether he was pushing up until that moment or not, because first he invalidated, and by the time we caught up to him, he was just sliding around, almost losing the car. So well done in saving it, well done in doing a good job, but let's see what happens here. Meanwhile, DJ, who needs to do a good job here in qualifying. 120.3 is their previous time, and 119.3 is their time here around here, but that is where they'll stay still. 119.363. Over 3 tenths down on the next car still. Meanwhile, the bottom two have not got a time on board. And Tyrone has indeed come out again. I'd have thought maybe he doesn't come out, but he still wants to come out and put a lap in. And over the finish line, he'll go even better than his previous time. 115.775. Possible track improvement. He did a pretty first lap pretty earlier on, so definitely there wasn't going to be as much grip as it would be right now. So definitely, at least this lap was going to be mandatory for him, as Ryan moves up to P4 as well, pushes Raichu down, as a couple of other drivers are now on flying laps and faster laps. You know, Ian is there on just beginning their flying lap, as we're going to see Killer on an invalidated lap here, so they will need to do and put up an invalidated lap, but before that they need to keep the car on track. They nearly lose it as well, just about keeping it on track there, so that's a decent job, you have to say, at least a minimum. But what's going to be happening now here in qualifying now? Over just about 6 minutes remain, possibly just 5.5 minutes in these moments now. Still the bottom two are in the pits. They haven't yet came out, and I wonder if it is Brando. No, it is not Brando. So Deeds and Brando are still in the pits, and it'll be interesting to see whether they do come out or not, or they don't. And ooh, somebody retired or somebody left the session, and it has to be Archie who has retired out, and I wonder he has crashed. Yes, he has crashed, as this is the exact same. Oh, it's not the exact same corner, but another very tricky corner around here. If you do not get it right, that gravel trap is going to punish you, and on a possible vault around, you would make contact. But what about Ian here? They need a minimum 6/4 tenths at least to go up to P9. Would they be able to get that jump, or even a bigger jump with this lap? They will get that bit of jump and go up to P8. Not one but two positions have been jumped by them here. What about Raichu in that Red Bull lap on that soft compound tyre over the finish line? 117.0, but that'll be good enough for P4 only, as Evil's lap is just by fastest by a couple of hundredths, by a few hundredths of a second, and that is the reason he has stopped him. What about Romero here? His teammate is up on P2. Romero will be needing to do a better job in this on this lap now. I believe he's going to come into the pits. It's interesting to see why he didn't come into the pits now, because there won't be much time left for him now to come into the pits and then come out again. The bottom two, remember, are still in the pits, are still staying at the very bottom, so not really showing any interest to come out. Maybe they want to start from the back, maybe they're not really, you know, trying to come out just yet, possibly waiting for a perfect moment, and indeed that perfect moment might have came now, because by the looks of it, Brando is just about to exit the pits here, and he is now out on track in these remaining 3 minutes here in qualifying, and a lap here will be needed. A very good lap here will be needed, because you know that if you don't get a good lap here, you haven't got time, and you've wasted all those minutes which could have possibly been you out on track and a chance for you to complete a lap, and this will begin to hurt you if you do not get a good lap here. And definitely it is round one, so you want to set up a very good momentum to go into the next round, as Miguel's going to go P6. What about Romero over the line? Definitely looking for some improvements. Can't get it, just about 3500ths of a second down in their previous lap. What about Conabel, who is currently slowest of them all so far, and he's still going to be staying slowest, unable to improve just yet. Meanwhile, Dees hasn't came out. Brando is in P14. Out here, and what about DJ here? Just they'll be beginning their flying a lap. What about Evil? They're going to come into the pits, and Brenda will be starting their laps as well, and having the eyes on Deez's Ferrari. They're still in the pits, and they are not coming out at the moment. Minute and 40 seconds now remain in the session. Keela is out on a out lap at the moment, and everybody now possibly who's going to go over the line should be getting on their final lap, and possibly will not really be getting another lap here, because just 20 minutes now remain, and by the looks of it, Dees is not going to get a lap in, because now there is not enough time for him to come out and do a lap out on track, so he'll be starting from last on the grid, from last place on the grid. What about the lap from Fino? He does get a brilliant improvement there, but that is still nearly over 8/10 slower than Tyron, because look at this then. If we're able to get that detail, or we'll be getting that detail here, and yep, it is over 8/10 to a pole sitter. Despite he gets a brilliant job, does Fina, 15.598. That's not a bad lap at all. That's a very good lap, but that is not enough for him. What about Brando? Has he done enough for himself to get over the line? Meanwhile, DJ over the line will stay P11. What about Brando driving for McLaren for the brand new season and over the finish line? That'll be P6 for them, 117.435. So maybe just a decent enough lap for them. And Tyron now has came out, so not much of a serious threat to him, but still season around one, so he wants to set the tone and definitely be out there when it needs to be. Killer gets an improvement, or no, they do not get an improvement on this overall lap, and many have now taken the checkered flag. What about DJ? He's far away. Meanwhile, his teammate is over the chair, but he could not complete or at least start his lap, and has taken the checkered flag as well. Interestingly, Romero has continued, but I don't think they're going to be getting an improvement lap. Meanwhile, their own teammate slowed down there, so not quite sure what is going on, but that's going to be qualifying over for many cars now, ladies and gentlemen, here. What about Corbell? Finding improvements? You will not be finding any out here. DJ in P12 so far. Those looking for improvements more and more. Only a few hundredths of a second, or at least a tenth of a second, will do enough for them to find an improvement and go better. But they can't do that just yet. So what about Brando in that McLaren over the line? Just as taking the checkered flag, and that is an interesting choice to say the least, considering others are right behind, are going to be taking the checkered flag, but they could be on lap, so possible you know, a possible concentration loss could be on the way, and they've just crashed out. Obviously, that's on purpose. That's just to end the session, take the checkered flag, crash out. Unless there's a rule that doesn't allow you to participate if you are going to crash out in qualifying. Obviously, I mean, they haven't hit anyone. They've simply taken the checkered flag. It's like taking the checkered flag in style, and look at this then. So Ian in P10 and special crashing out, obviously. But look at this then. That's the end of qualifying session, ladies and gentlemen. Tyrone on pole continues where he left last season off. Fino in P2, a very competitive position for him. And Fino, remember, was the closest competitor for Tyrone in the Drivers' Championship. Evil in P3 with Ray 2, Ryan completing out the top 5. Brando, Miguel, Archie, Romero, and VTR in the top 10. With Keela, DJ, Conable in P13 and Special and D's, the two drivers without a time on board. With Conable has a 5-place grid penalty, so not sure what is that for, and if that's the case, he's going to be starting last, and the bottom two will be pushed just a bit up. They will be pushed just those two positions, at least, you know, one position each in terms of Conable going at the bottom, and better for those at the bottom. That's the end, and qualifying has ended as the teams get ready, as the drivers get ready. Teams prepare their cars the best. Fino looking to challenge Tyrone for the season, for the Drivers' Championship this season. Tyrone looking to regain the championship to himself. Can he continue on with a winning start, with a winning margin, or Fino's challenge will be enough to dismiss Tyrone a season 1, race 1 victory here? All to look out for only in a few minutes' time. They're out now. Let's get ready and ready to go racing here at Albert Park, Australia. Let's get started. And interesting choice from drivers. It is. 4 inside the top 5 are on a set of medium compound tyres. In fact, all for inside the top 7 in the top 10 are on the mediums, apart from the 3 drivers, Romero, Archie, and Evil, in that McLaren, Haas, and Kick Sauber, and just outside, all outside the top 10 are on those medium compound tyres. Keela, DJ's, Special, D's, and Conable on those set of hard compound tyres. So definitely they're looking to go longer, and it'll be interesting to see. 29 laps, I believe it is going to be, 50%. So it'll be an interesting choice to also see whether these drivers are going to be doing 2 stops or a 1-stop strategy. Possible 1-stop could be on the way. 15 laps on, possibly 16 or 17 laps on the hard compound tire, and then about 12 to 13 laps on the medium compound tyre. But it's going to be all to play for. I mean, cooler conditions, so possibly they'd be able to get a bit more on from these tyres, but still, it's going to be all to watch out for. And meanwhile, our race leader is far behind. A couple of drivers at the front. Okay, they're just parked, I believe, and are all of those who have been disqualified from the formation lap. I was about to say that those guys probably overtook Tyrone, but they didn't eventually do that. And so many drivers have been disqualified from this formation lap, and that means all of those will be starting on the pretty cold tyres, and that will not be a pleasant feeling at all. It is going to be Tyrone on pole, Fino in P2 with Evil in P3. 5 red lights are all red and are now off, and green flags racing here in Australia. It's going to be a brilliant start for Tyrone. It's going to be a decent start for Raichu as well. Fino has not had a good start at all, heading towards turn 1. It's going to be 3 wide almost. Evil goes wide, comes back on the track. Raichu loses out to Fino as well. And that is now looking a lot happening here at the very back. One of the McLarens has went towards the wall, I believe, and making contact, and so wide goes Romero, and he's going to be losing positions at the very back and has lost out positions. So much is happening here, and a lot has happened. Meanwhile, Aichi has retired out of the session, has crashed out here. And I mean, race 1, lap 1, maybe you would never expected them to be so aggressive, but yet they have decided to be so aggressive. And in result, Raichu's in P3, so it's a good one for him. Ryan has gained up a place, I believe. Yes, he has. Evil's lost out 2 positions. Miguel has gained as well. VTR has gained 3. DJ has gained 4. Brando has lost out over 3 positions. Conabel, 5 places gained for them as well. Special and these 1 places each. Romero has lost out a couple of positions. With Archie out of this race. Archie out of this one, and now it'll be interesting to see whether who's going to be coming into the pits, and many out of these come into the pits, and whom of them stay out so far, as it's a virtual safety car. It's not a full course safety car, I believe. That's what I believe. So yes, indeed, it's a virtual safety car, and by the looks of it, nobody is just yet coming into the pit. So no, yep, definitely there are drivers, and there is more than 1 and 2. That is Brando and DJ. So I saw, you know, a bit of front wing flying, and that was for Brando, and he came into the pits, and the green flags have fallen already. Meanwhile, Fino Tyrone has pulled away by over 2.7 seconds already, with Raichu in P3, followed by Evil in P4. Ryan in P5 so far. By the looks of it, he's doing a decent job here, and could be a possible move coming up for the Alpine driver. Even VDR Ian could have a chance at it, as by the looks of it, looks like Romero in P10, and ooh, that's going to be a good move around the outside from Romero there on Special, and Special trying to recover after that crash in qualifying. What about Dees? He's in P12 as well, and by the looks of it, Dees might not be in the session here, as that looks like the car is ghosted. Meanwhile, one man who doesn't need to be ghosted is going to be coming round the outside. Same place where he crashed. He will get the move done this time around. And nice and easy. Not 1, but he's going to get 2. Nearly puts him in the wall, does Conabel. And he almost closed the door when he shouldn't have there. He's just about going to be able to defend that, but that was absolutely tricky, and that was absolutely dangerous there from Conabel. And it is raining by the looks of it. Both of them go wide, Romero, and so does Conabel a little bit. And he's going to continue on. Special's going to come into the pit now, and rain has came in, and that is interesting to see. A possible threat of rain turns out to be in, as Oraitu is already out on a set of intermediate compound tires, and right now, yep, Special now on a set of intermediates as well. Brando is just jumping in. He would have loved to fit those intermediate tires when he came in first, but it wasn't the time to be, so he has to pit in again. So does DJ also come in. A lot of drivers now in, and that means there will be chaos at the front of the field, because those on those slick tires will be feeling it pretty tricky. On the inside line, Evil of Ryan will get the move done. Ryan will not back out, and he nearly will have to back out there, and very wide goes Evil there, but they will have to be backing out. Meanwhile, Ryan now goes a little bit wide. VDR will be overtaken up and will get the move done here, and up to P4. That is a remarkable job so far in the session by the looks of it. So that is a brilliant move done, and into P4 for them. They've obviously, many have pitted, but it'll be interesting to see those who have pitted and those who haven't. Where will they come out? Meanwhile, Tyrone is now in the pits, and by the time we look, they're also already out of the pits as well on a set of intermediate tires, as Evil's going to go on to take